So space people took pictures of Pluto recently. What did they fucking ride Canada's rising temperature through the roof and then up through whatever layers of atmosphere? I failed astronomy and also don't care. All the way out hundreds of billions of miles just to snap that shot? Because you could probably just sit on it like a geyser. It's really hot today, is what I'm saying. So I guess that's why I'm irritated. A lot of people think fuck is a bad word, and that's a dumb thing to say because words aren't good or bad. Have you ever seen a word rob a bank or hit an old lady? They don't do that. With that being said, I come to you today to inform you that a lot of the substitutes you're using for that word are way worse. And at the end of the video, I hope you'll agree with me when I say, just say fuck. Undoubtedly, at some point in your life, you've heard somebody use the term F-bomb. So let's take a closer look at that real quick. Because somebody, I think, deserves a modicum of respect for thinking that the word fuck is so bad that they have to liken it to an object that was designed to kill humans. Really? A bomb? When in history has the word fuck ever incinerated like 1 billion Japanese people? And how do you drop an F-bomb? Is that the only word that's subject to gravity? If I tie a note that says the word fuck on it to my foot and jump in a lake, am I gonna sink or explode? There's too many questions. Just say fuck. And what's the other big one? The F word, air quotes. Saying the term the F word is just a cowardly way of making everybody around you guilty of having a dirty thought. And what exactly is it that you're afraid of in the first place? Is it like Beetlejuice, where if you say fuck 3 times, a fuck demon comes out of the fuck floor and finger fucks your face into fuck oblivion? Thank God you only implied it, because otherwise you just would have been transported to a horrifying dimension, a fuckscape, where it's just fluids flying everywhere. There's a lot of F's in that little bit just then. Not to mention, that's way more ambiguous and some people might not get the message. I can think of a handful of words that start with F that are way more offensive to me. Fiddle is a good example. When was the last time you heard somebody use the word fiddle to describe a kind of instrument you can play in public without being arrested? Fiddler on the roof? Why? Is it easier for him to see into his neighbor's bedroom window from there? With no context, you have no way of knowing if somebody's talking about the playing of an instrument or the playing of a terribly different kind of instrument. Why are we teaching people to dance around our own language? Are we supposed to be as sneaky as possible with our vocabulary all the time? That's the kind of behavior that in any other situation, you go to bed one night and when you wake up, somebody in the Bahamas is wiping their ass with your credit card information. Also, in terms of F words, faggot is way worse. Like, at least there are people, as illegitimate as it may be, who are actually offended by that word. If somebody called me a fuck, I wouldn't be like, hey, I actually do use my genitals to pound liquid hatred into a sexual partner. Triggered. So keep that in mind. If you're a midday drunk suburban soccer mom or an overprotective dad trying to keep from having to read a frowny letter from a teacher, here's some advice. Kids say that shit anytime that you're not within earshot. Remove the stigma and it stops becoming risky behavior. And if you're worried about the stupid idea that it hinders vocabulary growth, maybe, I don't know, read your lump of concentrated needy food vacuum a book once. The other argument I hear all the time is that it's easy. But why is talking supposed to be difficult? Also, life is full of shortcuts. Olympic divers tuck their bodies in so they could spin faster. It doesn't mean that it's easy to land 13 front flips from 90 feet in the air. You're essentially a coach that demands that its divers remain perfectly straight and then gets upset when the impact pushes their face into their rib cage and they shit out their lungs later. In this metaphor, the difficulties of life are illustrated by just a violent evisceration. I think it's pretty fucking accurate, if you ask me. Also, why the fuck do you think kids swear? It's because it's fun and it makes you mad. Rewarding attention-seeking behavior with attention is like feeding a shark your left leg so that it'll stop fucking eating you. My point is, people say a million things that are way worse on a daily basis, yet are still acceptable for some reason. And frickin' sounds frickin' dumb. Just say fuck. Just say fuck. Just say fuck! You're kind of just shooting yourself in the foot because just screaming swear words is an amazing way to relieve tension or stress or anger or any of that. And I honestly can't think of a more efficient way that doesn't end with your wrists bleeding. I poured a coffee and then I got mad, so I poured whiskey, and now I don't know which one to drink. Both!